Are you ready for life-saving and life-changing hacks?
Was ist das?
20 minutes of the best top expert tips and hacks to make your life better. LifeHakx. Technology, business, multimedia, wellness and health, events, reviews, and more. LifeHakx. Every Sunday at 7 p.m. LifeHakx. LifeHakx.com. That's with a K and an X on Radio X. This is Mary Collins on LifeHakx Media on Radio X, and I have the pleasure to welcome back on the show Eva Weisenbeck. How are you, darling?
Oh, I'm very well, thank you. How are you?
I am. That's all I can say.
That's good enough.
I am for the month of February. I am going to relax and learn how to love myself. But the problem is when I do love myself, I just stay in bed and Netflix binge. That's what I consider love.
Well, maybe I can share some top tips.
Yeah, well, this is it. Can you share some top tips? So Eva's on the show today to share some top tips on the month of February or any time of the year. There's no time of the year in specifically that one should fall in love, be in love, or love themselves. So with that, Eva, take it away.
Yeah, so today's challenge is to make it geeky sexy, but we'll give it a shot.
Oh, I am the queen of that. Come on. Have you seen my block glasses?
Oh, but you rock it. It's awesome.
What did someone call me? Dame Edna or something? Like some really
brilliant, yes.
Family member.
Oh, I like Dame Edna.
Anyway, for the British understand that joke. Okay, so
they will.
So to make geeky sexy, how does one make themselves a nerdy sex machine?
I have no idea, but we'll try.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to start with the topic of today, and then we'll do for the life hacks.
Okay.
So the topic, here's the geeky bit. Mm-hmm. It's a hormone called oxytocin.
Oh, yeah, I know that one.
Yeah, so the nickname, which is so cute, is often the love hormone or the cuddle hormone.
Okay.
And we shall explain that a bit more.
Mm-hmm. Because I can't imagine hugging a
life
hormone.
hack.
Oh, yeah, go on, sorry, go.
Well, yeah. So I thought to wake everyone up, I'm going to go with touch yourself.
Wow. Straight in there.
Yeah.
That song has just come to my brains, to my mind. You remember that song? And when I think about you, I touch myself. Oh, I can't sing. Don't want anybody else. Now, I wish I might have to play music.
Oh, you're going to have to post a video.
And I get into so much trouble. People will be like, my children are listening. What? No, this show's not for children. Never has been, never will be. Anyway.
Oh, dear.
Children are for boarding schools. Anyway, go on. So tell me. So straight in. Are you talking about the big old master? I can't say this. I'm too religious.
Well, I just wanted to catch your attention.
Okay.
So it works in many ways.
Color of the room.
Let's do some of the science bit first because I do love it.
Okay.
So the oxytocin, this hormone, it's probably maybe mostly known for pregnant women when you're pregnant or when you've just given birth. You get a lot of oxytocin to bond with your child.
To bond with your squishy-faced, ugly creature.
Yeah. And go, it's the best thing ever, and feel no pain.
Right.
So that's kind of where it's known from. But so men do produce oxytocin, but women tend to produce a bit more because we like the whole huggy, networky, sisterhood thing. Mm-hmm. There's a couple of really interesting facts about oxytocin. It plays a role in how we interpret facial signals and remember faces.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a really curious one. So oxytocin, they've been doing research and they are trialing it as a treatment for, say, if you have social anxiety or if you're on the autism spectrum, it can make you interact easier with others.
Okay.
The only little caveat there is that, again, with these things, it's not necessarily a bioidentical oxytocin. It's a chemical version. So some say yay, others say So, yeah, but it's an interesting area.
Okay. And when you say it helps you recognize, because does this mean I'm a beast? Because I can recognize an animal. Seriously, I can recognize a dog I've met once, right? Or a cat. But I cannot, I'm not really good with people. Like they just have to, they have to have a personality for me to remember them. As to where their face is, like I swear I'll wave at everyone. If I wave at you randomly and whoever is listening and you don't know me, I'm sorry.
Well, it's a good policy, I think. Just wave at anyone. Be happy.
But in the same point, people get totally insulted when I don't remember them. And it's honestly, it's buried there somewhere. If they had a dog with them, I might remember them. But otherwise, forget about it.
Oh, that's interesting. Oh, God, that's a whole other. That's lots of research needs to be done there, Mary.
I reckon. Dig up Freud for that one. Okay. So how does one produce more oxytocin?
Yes, oxytocin. So this is now back to the LifeHakx of touch yourself a little bit, because obviously, so sexual activity come in there, not necessarily with someone, with yourself, whatever, that does sort of produce it. But it can be anything. It can actually just be connecting with another person. You're going to love this one because pets are awesome. Woo-hoo. So, just spending time with pets and kind of stroking them and stuff like that will also bring it up. Okay. Cuddles, hugs.
Hey, guys, we don't mean bring it up in that way. Stay away from your pets in that way.
No. God. But back to the touch yourself. This is actually what I love and why I'm winking on the phone, which no one can see. Anyway, there's a chap called Mark Waldman. He's a bit of a random, I think he's a neuroscientist. I'll post some links. He has some great life hacks, and one is if you feel stressed or anxious or just uncomfortable in a situation, if you actually stroke your forearm yourself, it will up your oxytocin and you will feel calmer. It's like self-soothing.
I'm just picturing myself like Catwoman licking my arm, purring.
Well, you can try that.
Meow. Okay.
But
your
so
forearm.
Just being a bit kind. Yeah, just being a bit kind to yourself. Right. And there's some interesting research around that. So I'll post some of those
on LifeHakx Media. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. Physical affection. With yourself, with friends, with pets, brings this up. And one really important thing, I love this. So cortisol, we've all heard about it. It's sort of deemed the stress hormone. A little bit is good, too much is not good. Okay. And oxytocin and cortisol, they have a love-hate relationship.
Interesting. Okay.
They're a bit like a seesaw. So when one goes up, the other one goes down.
Okay.
So again, today's society, lots of stress, lots of pressure, lots of to-do lists, cortisol very high, very little oxytocin. And, that's a feel-good hormone, so we want it. Right. So, just play a bit more and be a bit kind to yourself.
Okay. And you won't go blind?
No, you won't go blind.
A bit too much with yourself?
I was more thinking playfulness, but we can go with that too.
Okay. So top tip, reach out and touch yourself.
Yes.
Okay.
LifeHakx. Why work harder when you can work smarter and live better? LifeHakx. Every Sunday on Radio X.
And LifeHakx, love LifeHakx, number 2 with Eva Weisenbeck. Go for it, Eva.
Okay, so we touched on oxytocin, the love hormone, the cuddle hormone last time. I thought we'd go a bit more specific on testosterone today.
Okay.
Which, yes, it's obviously mainly men, but women have it too, and we need it too for libido and all sorts of things. And the LifeHakx, keeping it simple, is lift heavy stuff.
Lift heavy stuff, seriously?
Lift heavy stuff, yes.
Interesting.
It's actually one of the best ways and easiest ways for men, I will say, probably more so, lift some heavy stuff. And it doesn't necessarily, we're not talking mega bars. It can be body weight exercises too. There's a lovely guy called Mark Sisson from Mark's Daily Apple. again, I'll post links.
Okay. So Mark Sisman, did you say?
Mark Sisson, yeah.
Mark Sisson.
And he's a big proponent of kind of natural movement and primal movement.
Okay.
So he's all for like, just doing the plank or push-ups and things. That would equate to lift heavy stuff.
I was going to say,
help boost.
That would planking work, because not everyone can do that if they have a bad back or whatever. So
No. So there's stuff like that, definitely. But testosterone.
Does it say like how long one has to do something to be effective? I guess you just have to break out into a sweat, and that
it's so individual. Depends where you're at, and age, state of body, fitness, all of these things. So, but this is where the body weight exercises like the plank and push-ups and things are really good.
Okay.
Because you'll work with what you've got rather than overload and potential danger of
hurting yourself,
injury. So exactly. So a couple of things that testosterone doesn't like. Stress, again, we're seeing a theme here.
Yeah.
Overtraining, actually, so if you train too much, if maybe you're a hardcore runner, potentially, or you just don't allow your body to recover, then testosterone will just plummet because you don't have the resources. And this one is a big one, and I like this because it ties into what we've talked about in the past, low-fat diet.
Okay. So what are you saying with low-fat diets?
I am saying that if you eat a low-fat diet, or actually the wrong type of fat potentially as well, you will have no cholesterol, and then the body can't produce the hormones.
Wow.
And your testosterone will suffer.
So literally you become a soy boy if you eat low-fat.
Yeah. Yes.
Spot on. And the image is right there. I can see that. I mean, it's a whole advertisement for like zero soda, zero diet soda. It's like loafers and pink shirts. No, I'm just kidding. Everyone out there, pink shirts are fine. So that's interesting. Low-fat diet for guys is not a good idea. You need good cholesterol. So remember that.
You do. Okay. Yes, and actually you do for women too. And the other reason the fats are so important is because they help with the absorption of fat-soluble vitamins, so A, D, E, K, etc. And they are also important for hormone production, or they can cause hormone imbalances if you're deficient.
Okay, and that's why also people need to look into what they're eating and drinking, and even taking for pain, because I think we mentioned CBD oil, which we have to talk about at some point. Blocking some of the pathways, as does our favorite thing, coffee.
Yes,
that's a big blocker as well, isn't it? But I'm not giving it up.
But to be good news then. So coffee and caffeine, again, if you kind of find a really good source of it, so it doesn't have any mold and blah, 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 then there's a Goldilocks. So some is actually very good for you.
You said if it doesn't,
as long as you can metabolize it.
I was going to say, if coffee doesn't have any mold, what?
Yeah, so there's, sorry.
What? Does coffee have mold in it? Ugh. Seriously?
Right. So, there's some quite big debates around how the coffee beans are produced and stored, I think, mainly, and things like that.
Oh, well, can you please find out more information about that?
Okay, I shall do that. We could do a coffee episode.
Yeah, no, this is a big one.
Actually, let's do a coffee and tea episode. That would be good.
Please. And at least to know which ones are kind of safe or what to look for, because...
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there's definitely, there is studies that say coffee's great, and on the other hand, coffee's terrible, and chocolate is great, and chocolate is terrible. But I think it really does depend, doesn't it, on the quality of the chocolate or the coffee.
Yes, thank you. Spot on. Whew. Yeah, it's always a case of you cannot go, nothing is black and white. And this is why we've gone through our headlines, because nothing is as straightforward as saying fish is good, fish is bad, eggs are good, eggs are bad. Yeah. It's all about the quality, where it's from, how it's produced.
Exactly.
Definitely. So let's do a coffee and tea episode.
What would you like to hear more of on LifeHakx Media? Tell us what experts you want to hear from. Write into lifehacks@gmail.com. LifeHakx. Every Sunday on Radio X.
Okay, so on to more love hacks with Eva Weisenbeck. Go girl.
So I'm going to stick with testosterone for a minute.
Oh, okay, sorry.
Sorry. So I just wanted to mention a couple of things. So what might help if you think you might have low testosterone, or indeed you've had... you can either have a urine test or a blood test, and it's sort of confirmed that you have low testosterone. There are things you can do to try and boost it yourself.
Okay.
The easiest ones are lifestyle and diet. So that's how come the LifeHakx is lift heavy stuff. You want a nutrient-dense diet with healthy fats, which you mentioned, to help the production of it. Certain supplements are very good. So vitamin D, vitamin C, and zinc is a big one. This is an interesting one because that ties into oysters, which is like, yeah.
So there's actually some truth to the
absolutely there are, yeah. There's truth in there. And then if you have real problems, or you can obviously do hormone replacement and make it bioidentical. That's much better for the body.
Okay. So those are some great hacks for guys and also girls who, testosterone-wise might be lacking. Some of us actually, our body types have more testosterone, and our blood, it shows in our blood, like you said, that some women have a stronger balance of testosterone than normal is for a woman. And I think it tends that you have a thicker density to your bones or something, or not your bones, but your muscles or something like that.
Right.
I'm just making this up as I go along. Probably wrong. Anyway, so there you go, guys. There's some testosterone hacks. And if you want more great hacks from Eva Weisenbeck, she has her own website as well, Eva Weisenbeck, Wellness and Health on Facebook. But of course, she's awesome and posts stuff on LifeHakx Media Facebook page as well. So you can also hear her podcasts on lifehakx.com. That's with a K and an X on Radio X. And that is part 1 of our Love Hacks with Eva.
This is Mary Collins on LifeHakx. LifeHakx.
What you want?
Why work harder when you can work smarter and live better? LifeHakx.
Right, so today we're still a bit geeky because that's who I am. So we're going to focus on female hormones today and sort of lack of libido a little bit.
Okay.
And this life hacks is almost the opposite to the men. So for the men, we said lift heavy stuff. For female hormones, the life hacks is slow down and breathe.
Oh, I completely forget how to do that.
I know. I think we do a lot, and we do need to do it. And I shall explain why.
Okay. So why should one breathe?
Right. So one of the reasons in this case, so with female hormones, it's a little bit maybe more complicated because we have a whole cascade of hormones that sort of trigger and impact each other. The thyroid's important, cortisol, the adrenal glands, lots of things. And we need to slow down and breathe because if we are stressed, we are running on cortisol. Okay. And when that happens, it's called I can't even say it, pregnenolone steal.
Weird.
It basically diverts part of our hormones because it needs to produce cortisol. And when it does that, not a lot else can get produced. So, progesterone goes, oxytocin, which is the love hormone we talked about, that goes, and we just get stressed, and long term, it's not a good situation to be in. So we need to slow down and breathe.
Okay. So, girls, I know we all want to be mermaids, and that requires us holding our breath, but really, no. Breathe.
No.
Learn to breathe. It's actually really sexy. I think actually when a woman takes a deep breath, it raises her chest level. You know what I mean? It expands the chest. Her neck is elongated. It looks sexy, at least according to all the droolers that I know. So it's...
But that's so true. Sorry, I have to jump in there because spot on. Because I actually think when you breathe, you become present. You're present in here and now rather than what do I need to do in 10 minutes time into, what does the week look like, blah, 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 blah. You need to be present here and now. And that's incredibly sexy.
Yeah. And you're breathing in more oxygen, and that's good for the cells of your body. That's good for your skin, for your complexion. They have oxygen therapy, for goodness sake. So there's got to be something to the whole breathing and taking the time. So, okay, cool. What else do we have to do to help with our libido?
Yeah, so I'm going to start with lifestyle because that is always my first port of call. So again, for ladies, it's a lot of, sleep, really important, and stress reduction. I'm going to give a very specific diet one, actually, for this one. So a lot of women tend to be estrogen dominant. That can function in two ways. Either it's because we just produce... So let's try this again. Estrogen and progesterone needs to be in balance.
Okay.
So you can either be estrogen dominant because you produce too little progesterone, or you just have too much estrogen. So it's a bit of a double whammy. So for estrogen dominance, I'm going to go very specific, and it's broccoli. Broccoli and brassicas. Yeah, see, anything in the cabbage family.
Okay.
It is absolutely phenomenal. It's so good for your liver, but it helps you detox. It helps you move and shift your estrogen if it's too high.
Okay. So
and actually, it helps you with xenoestrogen, which is almost even more important. That's the stuff that isn't made by us. Things like, chemicals or pesticides or plastics, which we really need out of the body. So go broccoli.
Go broccoli raw, or does it matter? Is there a certain way?
It doesn't really matter. So some might have heard that raw broccoli can be really harsh on the thyroid. It's not necessarily true. And if you really want to geek out properly, the big trend at the moment is actually sprouts. You sprout broccoli seeds, and they have something ridiculous, like 100 times more nutrients than broccoli. So, check that out. Broccoli sprouts.
Can't wait till you post that on LifeHakx Media Facebook page.
I will.
LifeHakx.com. That's with a K and an X on Radio X.
So for women, the other thing I just want to mention, because we're on the theme of slow down and breathe, regular moderate exercise or movement is brilliant. So like dancing or anything, or like yoga, Pilates. I know it sounds a bit like a cliche, but if you go hardcore at the gym, or if you go marathon runner, again, it can be really hard on your hormones.
Right. Okay.
So just bear that in mind. Some people can cope better with it than others. So just listen to your body.
So girls, even though we want to have the fit bodies, in actual fact, the soft bodies might actually be healthier for you as a female, especially if you want to reproduce. I mean, that's the whole point. He's supposed to be hard, wink, wink, nudge, nudge, and you're supposed to be soft.
Absolutely.
So like healthy exercise, but not Rambo style.
Yeah. Can I, because you mentioned carrying, being pregnant and carrying children, this is so interesting. Just a really random fact. One reason why sometimes women, depending on your age, can suffer from low libido, it's actually a defense mechanism of your body. If your body feels that you are too stressed or under strain, it could be anything from external stress, or it could be internal, maybe you're fighting a disease or something like that, the body will actually lower your sex hormones. It's so mean because it decides that you're not really in a good place to be able to cope. To reproduce. Yeah, so it's actually quite clever. So it is all tied in. So don't be too harsh on your own body. It's trying to tell you what's going on.
So the love of month, no dieting, woohoo!
No, because we do also need good fats, same as the men.
Sounds good to me.
Definitely.
Excuse. No, but I mean, look and see a lot of these athletes do struggle, where they have to go get in. What do you call it? Intro. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, God. Yeah, I do. IVF. Yeah, but it's true. And also, obviously, if you're hardcore gymnast and stuff like that, sometimes you have issues with your period because the body they don't have the resources to work how they sort of should work.
Okay.
Oh, God. And then we have the hormonal pills. That's a whole nother episode there as well.
Yeah, that absolutely messes with you.
Yeah, it does. And actually, there's now a syndrome, which is like once you've come off the pill, if you've been on it for a long time, some might actually struggle for a long time afterwards to get your hormones back. So, but again, there are things that you can do a bit more naturally to try and help your body readjust. But it's really interesting. Jolene Brighton, I'll post some links to her. She's very good.
Okay, perfect. So this sounds great. I get to breathe more. I get to not overwork my body and exercise. That the only exercise I need to get is strip pole dancing for my lover.
Yes.
Right? Is that about right?
Yeah. Lovely.
Perfect, Eva. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And that's all that we have time for. However, if you check out LifeHakx.com, that's with a K and an X, you'll also see our social media pages like Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. For further fantastic life hacks on LifeHakx Media. Thanks for listening.
LifeHakx.
LifeHakx.com. That's with a K and an X on Radio X.